The issue of gun safety is high on the agenda following the Las Vegas Massacre. Today, Senator Cardin and local leaders talked about that topic. Good evening. This is CTV News for Monday, October 16th. I'm Denise Douglas. That story in a minute. But first, three separate but related challenges to the Trump administration's latest travel ban are in federal court. They're heard in federal court this afternoon. Patricia Vallone is at the U.S. District Courthouse in Greenbelt right now. She has the details. She's live on the phone. Patty, what's going on?
That's right, Denise. Well, this is the third attempt that President Trump has made at banning a number of majority Muslim countries from traveling to the U.S. Like previous versions, Chad, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Syria, and Yemen travelers would be blocked from entering the U.S. The new ban also includes North Korea and certain Venezuelan officials. The three cases were brought by various organizations, including the ACLU, the Council for American Islamic Relations, and other civil rights groups. Now, these cases are asking for a preliminary injunction to stop the president's latest ban, which is set to take effect this Wednesday, October 18th. The judge in the courtroom asked a series of questions, including information on a report that the federal government refuses to release, as well as the history of presidential proclamations regarding travel bans. Plaintiffs held a press conference immediately after the hearing, saying that the travel ban can only be viewed through the lens of discrimination, and they vow to continue fighting to dismantle it. No word yet on when the judge will make a decision in these cases. Live from the federal courthouse in Greenbelt, I'm Patricia Vallone. Back to you, Denise.
Thank you very much, Patty. Now on to our next big story. The horrific mass shooting in Las Vegas has brought once again to the forefront the idea of gun reform in this country. Today, law enforcement and local leaders came together to talk about how to end gun violence. Attorney General Brian Frost says Maryland needs to get better at enforcing gun safety laws that are already on the books.
The Firearms Safety Act gave the state police the authority to require reports from gun dealers and reports on their inventory. And we know that 1% of the gun dealers in the United States sell 60% of the guns that are used in crimes. So it's very important to have good oversight over those businesses.
On average, every day, 89 Americans lose their lives to gun violence. One of the victims of the Las Vegas Massacre is back in Maryland. Tina Frost was shot in the head on October 1st when Stephen Paddock opened fire on thousands of concertgoers in Las Vegas. Frost, who underwent surgery and lost her right eye, was flown home over the weekend after being taken to Johns Hopkins Hospital. She's no longer in a coma and took her first steps with the help of nurses. Hundreds were injured and 58 were killed in that mass shooting. Fighting against political ads that demean Hispanics, that's just one of the ways the Latino Victory Project wants the community to become engaged. The group's president, Cristobal Alex, was the keynote speaker during the Maryland Legislative Latino Caucus's third annual program. Alex says his organization works to elect progressive Latinos to build political power.
What's happening here in Maryland is incredible, and we're seeing it around the country too, where we have a fast-growing Latino population with real political stars that are here in the room today. We want to hear from them and hear about the future of the state and where it's going. But also we want to talk about something very serious, which is the context that we're in right now with President Trump in the White House, in many ways putting our community in the crosshairs. So we're going to talk about both those things and how they connect together and how we build political power together.
What we're trying to do is really be able to get out there to the community and kind of tell them, one, the work that we've been doing to help the Latino community and overall the state of Maryland, but we're also hoping to connect them to a lot of people that are already working within state and county governments and start to connect them so they can become more civically engaged as well, because I think that's sort of the next step as we talk about building Latino voting power. It's becoming civically engaged and knowing who your leaders are in your community.
Two panel discussions were also held during the event. Topics included how to make Latinos more visible and vocal, as well as how to inspire the community to make change. The event was held in honor of Hispanic Heritage Month. The pharmaceutical industry lobbied hard to prevent the U.S. Drug Enforcement Agency from going after drug distributors. That, according to a joint Washington Post 60 Minutes investigation. U.S. Senator Chris Van Hollen says he's concerned that the chief advocate of a law that weakened the DEA's ability to enforce the flow of pain pills led to today's opiate crisis across the country. Now, President Trump wants to appoint that same person, Representative Tom Marino of Pennsylvania, to be the nation's next drug czar.
Very disturbing report about Congressman Marino's efforts to very quietly try to change a law that apparently has allowed a lot of pharmaceutical companies to flood certain markets with opioids. So it certainly raises all sorts of red flags with me, and clearly he's not the kind of person we should have heading the DEA.
The original bill had bipartisan support and passed both the houses unanimously. President Obama signed the measure into law in